Kuzangpo, very warm welcome to Bhutan This Week. My name is Samtan Dolkar. Our top stories this week. Upon the command of His Majesty the King, a special relief Drukgyal flight brought home 132 women trafficked to Iraq. Businesses struggling post-COVID-19 lockdown. And Earth's wildlife population fall by 68% in size in just 5 decades. Now the news in detail. Upon the command of His Majesty the King, a special relief Drukgyal flight to Dubai brought home 132 women evacuated from Iraq on Sunday. They were trafficked. A joint task force was set up to coordinate efforts to safely return all these Bhutanese women. In the last few years, over 160 Bhutanese women were trafficked to Iraq by colluding local and foreign agents, which are unauthorized and illegal in Bhutan. Many of these women, who were promised good job opportunities abroad, were not even told that they were bound for Iraq. Once there, these women found themselves working in inhospitable conditions and often subjected to abuse. As their passports were taken away, they were not in a position to leave freely. Deeply concerned about the situation, His Majesty the King commanded to use every effort and resources to safely bring these Bhutanese home. 3 groups of women have already been brought home. During quarantine, they received medical attention and counseling, as well as help to reunite with their families and access the Drukgyal Post Relief Kidu. As per the press release from the Foreign Ministry, there are still scattered groups of Bhutanese in Iraq. The Bhutanese embassy in Kuwait is working urgently to find and bring them home. The local authorities in Iraq, the International Organization for Migration, embassies of friendly nations, NGOs and individuals contributed greatly in the rescue efforts, which were especially difficult due to the COVID-19 pandemic and the political condition in Iraq. The rescued women expressed great relief to be back home and offered their heartfelt gratitude for His Majesty's compassion and concern for every Bhutanese in the world. Meanwhile, the government urges people to be wary of an unauthorized person claiming to be an overseas employment agent. Samtan Dolkar, BBS News. With several Indian workers at the Punatangchu 1 project leaving for home in India, the project has decided to employ Bhutanese workers to solve the shortage. Hundreds of workers at the project have already left, while many more are expected to leave. Meanwhile, project officials say the departure of workers is not expected to affect the overall completion works of the project.
The project has so far employed 10 Bhutanese workers with welding skills and is aiming to employ more. More than 300 Indian workers have so far left for home, while hundreds more are expected to leave. The project is aiming to fill the need for both skilled and non-skilled workers with ones from within the country. The project currently has over 1,000 Indian workers. According to the managing director, most of the workers who are leaving are from the underground powerhouse construction, which is non-critical and will not have an impact on the overall project completion.
People have left Bhutan because people come for a certain duration. They work for a certain duration in Bhutan and then they would like to go back to their hometowns. So because of this lockdown situation, they could not leave earlier and they were stranded here. So we have facilitated them for their exit by involving our Embassy of India here in Bhutan and RGOB concerned ministries.
The project aims to fill the shortage with local workers as far as possible through the Build Bhutan project.
We are trying to fill up by engaging the people from Bhutan itself, and then some of the people may be required in highly skilled category or project management to be brought from outside, for which RGOB has already specified some procedure and we have started getting the approvals for bringing those people. So we are very hopeful that these vacancies will be filled up very shortly.
Meanwhile, the project has resumed construction works at all fronts with the available manpower, with works under full swing once again.
Case of PHP1, dam remains the critical worst, for which discussions are going on still with our technical consultants how to move forward on this project. So these people leaving the project site as of now will not impact our overall completion schedule of the project.
The project has also received permission from the government to bring in foreign workers, but will do so only if it is unable to fill the shortage with local workers. For Changadoji in Wandapota, Bimasaldun Sring, BBS News.
The police colony in Samrup Jonkar town has been identified as a yellow zone or surveillance zone after detecting 2 COVID-19 positive cases. Movement is strictly restricted in the area. More than 55 contacts have been traced as tracing continues. Random samples will be tested again. Tests are also being conducted for all residents of the old National Housing Development Corporation colony, where the first positive case was reported in the district on 7th September. Today, Samrup Jonkar has 3 COVID-19 positive cases. Now, while using face masks is important, with many different types of masks available in the market, it can be difficult to make the right choice in terms of ones that give the right level of protection against the virus. To help with this, the Health Minister says the Drug Regulatory Authority has been assigned to assess quality of face masks currently available in the market. Not all disposable or surgical masks are effective in filtering or blocking small particles in the air that can be transmitted by coughs or sneezes.
Dida dobe ma bazazomi ki surgical mask di lalu di ani single ply selab melani sabte tebe lalu ane betau da phika da nanale phika thome bala tani tari ongzen digibe tenga chara bazalu chongkon nale pha gazumgi khare yobina tani disoete Egypt bedo se shunila te hema ngachigi ani sanitizer di thoimba mola ani nae ngachiru ani ongzen digibe shipche be digibe te lalu ngachi minimum 70% go wala ani mimi du sukara ngachi market nale thuchu isi shuni oh kamso chi de jubato ila phemba kande mi ba ani zumbe te ngachi khare die ngachi gi ongzen dilu te ngachi gi phidi be te khongi be shipchi chi be na ase.
However, the Health Minister shared there are currently no standards for reusable masks.
Takolagi di madau dubala lalu ler sumdu lalu ni du tani di tato Egypt beni gi tenga chelu standard se meno devalu khare di ngachara surgical mask di ngachi health ki standard yula.
As per the Drug Regulatory Authority, they said that masks are currently not identified as a medical product. However, considering the pandemic and different varieties available in the market, the authority has informed all medicine wholesalers to ensure and verify the product before importing and supplying it to the retailers. Name of the manufacturer, batch number, and expiry date if available are some of the criteria that will be checked. Surgical masks are not intended to be used more than once. Therefore, the Health Minister urges people to use reusable masks than the disposable ones, considering the long periods the virus will remain on the disposed masks and the wastes it will create. Samtin Dolkar, BBS News. Bhutan Narcotics Control Authority says despite strict penalties and heightened inspections, shops are still found selling tobacco products illegally. The authority recently seized 10 business licenses for selling tobacco products.
All the 10 businesses recently caught selling tobacco products illegally were in Thimphu. They were fined accordingly and their licenses were forwarded to the Regional Trade and Industry Office for further action.
We have been continuously conducting inspections, especially in Thimphu, because we're not able to go outside Thimphu because of the travel restrictions at the moment. However, while conducting inspections in Thimphu, we're still apprehending people in illegal possession of tobacco products without proof of tax, and as per the Tobacco Rules and Tobacco Control Act, we have been levying fines on them for legal possession, and those who keep the tobacco products in their shops.
He said, while they still find tobacco products in the black market, they don't know the exact source.
We're not sure where they're bringing it from, but despite the measures from the government, I think people are still managing to bring it in from, we don't know the exact source, but we still find the tobacco products.
Shops found selling tobacco products illegally were fined according to the amount of seized tobacco. BNCA penalized more than 560 shops in the past 2 years for illegal possession of tobacco products. Pema Saldun Sring, BBS News.
Lockdown measures are being lifted cautiously in phases. Businesses are reopening and some children are back in school. But business is taking time to pick up. The government is facing pressure to give businesses hope after a warning that social distancing and wearing face masks could be the only solution to prevent the virus spread.
38-year-old Dojilote has been operating a hotel in Mongo town for the last 4 years. With the hope to generate good income, he decided to hire a hotel and pays more than 100,000 nyatam as rent. But today, empty chairs and tables is a daily scene. Before COVID-19 pandemic and lockdown, his business was thriving. Now he is in the dilemma whether to operate or shut it down.
lockdown machaba anive debda de tenimre tera rolu chimkire 20 chi da tera atri sanichi tindi da ani lockdown chabi gi nimle sun te lockdown din da tari chu thamle chapchi dashagi dawnalun nim chu thamla be masula a gochi simlen mi minolare da nam sami khebar chachi kajunso achin ata mi chenga chu donsolo de na ba mi sumshi che mi homa me mathenu razani thunji chide innale thenime de rogi housing basuda natte gale tenda misiveda.
It is the same story with the grocery stores in the town. Not many customers come to buy groceries these days.
The income generated from the shop is reduced by almost 50%. During the lockdown, some of the grocery items got expired, but after lifting the lockdown, we managed to get some income, but fewer customers are coming to buy grocery items. Before the pandemic, I used to sell grocery items worth about 130,000 newton, but these days I managed to sell grocery items worth only about 50,000 newton.
Some of the clothes shops in the town even appealed to the landlords to waive off certain percent of their house rent for last month.
Hema lockdown mebdadi ngachra chala suya asri maletin and zumbedi asri sel jodi basar da der number be chin chingiren thembala hatami sir adi the songka sabbe the ngara custom disena samchi diwami bendi divero tongtha riri ni sumsum di jodi sir that be chin Tete ngabje duje thomnila hatami sir dan zumbe chingari ne mashi chidu sir da songko shagi san ani stock da asri mitisu gatian shasame gadibeta medium sir.
Governments around the world are pinning their hopes on the rapid development of a vaccine to provide a route out of the pandemic. But scientists are hoping to develop a vaccine only within 12 to 18 months. Until such medical interventions become available, no country might be safe. For Sonam Tsering in Mongar, Giletem, BBS News.
To continue providing service to its clients, Bhutan Narcotics Control Authority started virtual counseling sessions. The authority tended to more than 100 clients who received the treatment services from the authority and still continue to do so. Officials say the new system has several benefits, such as more people with substance disorders coming forward.
upcoming days nalu the problem gachi zumchi ki chilo hamper beni zumchi do henceforth.
The authority assigned 4 councillors, ensuring that each councillor reaches to at least 10 clients in a day. By the end of the week, the councillors cover almost all the clients referred to them by the police.
So we have been giving continuous service to these people even during the lockdown. So basically what we do is we try to meet with them individually over the virtual counseling service. We meet challenges that we have found through this one-to-one virtual individual counseling service. We are able to keep contact with them. We are able to understand the current situation of them. Accordingly, we are able to provide intervention and treatment program to them.
One-to-one counseling.
Virtual counseling helps us to focus on a particular client and know more about them. When we provide counseling in BNCA, more male clients aged under 18 and some 51 below are mostly seen. There are few female clients who don't come forward since many clients are male, so we cannot meet with some of them. Now with the introduction of the virtual counseling, they said they are more comfortable sharing about their problems.
Because class na the online
Virtual counseling helps us to focus on a client individually. They are able to share their problem. Before, even if they want, they could not share the problem. Yes, we give them the opportunity to share the problem, but they cannot because of a large group of people present.
This way, one-to-one counseling through the virtual outpatient treatment services have been very, very effective. So we are now thinking to continue this virtual outpatient treatment services even after opening our regular classes and treatment service here in the Bhutan Narcotics. So we will be doing this not only here, but we would also like to adapt the same services in other drop-in centers.
BNCA tends to clients sent to them for counseling by the police. They will be receiving an additional of around 25 clients. Pema Saldun Singh, BBS News.
Now, Bhutan will be exporting 16 additional Bhutanese products to Bangladesh once Bhutan signs a preferential trade agreement with Bangladesh. According to the Economic Affairs Minister, both the governments approved the agreement and will be signed next month.
Both the government have cleared the draft text, but now this draft text has to be finalized, and to finalize the protocol, the procedure is that it has to be finalized with a meeting between the Commerce Secretary level, meeting at a Commerce Secretary level. So this is what we are pursuing now. We have already requested Bangladesh to expedite, and they are also very keen. Therefore, we're looking forward to have this final our Commerce Secretary level meeting and then finalize the formalities.
Bhutan will now export products like milk, natural honey, mineral waters, wooden furniture and many more. He says the agreement will ensure duty-free access to all the products. Today, Bhutan exports 18 agricultural and mineral products to Bangladesh under a special bilateral agreement.
We'll find an alternative market in Bangladesh. Therefore, it's always better. And with this 18 plus 16, 34, where the most of our products which are exportable and which are exported are covered. Therefore, we always find a market in Bangladesh and then to India and then to other places. And also this has a preferential trade agreement that these products are preferred. Therefore, the domestic, the duties are not levied by Bangladesh, and we also don't levy accordingly. So the trade between the two countries will increase.
Bhutan exported goods worth 6 billion yutum to Bangladesh last year. More than 100 Bangladeshi origin goods are eligible for preferential treatment under the agreement. The products largely include garments, teas and juices. Singhi Chizom for BBS News.
The recently released World Wildlife Fund's Living Planet Report 2020 reveals that since 1970, the Earth's wildlife populations have been plummeted by 68% in size in just 5 decades. This means fever of many amphibians, reptiles, fish, birds and mammals. Causes include environmental destruction such as deforestation, unsustainable agriculture, and illegal wildlife trade, which contribute to virus outbreaks like COVID-19. The report calls for urgent action to reverse the trend by 2030 by ending the destruction of natural habitats and reforming the food system.
The Living Planet report is a comprehensive survey of the health of the planet. The 68% decline in the past 50 years is clear evidence of the damage human activity is doing to the natural world. As per the report, globally, population sizes of freshwater creatures have gone down by around 84% and are the most impacted since 1970. Most of the oceans are polluted and more than 85% of the wetlands have been lost. But what's causing these trends? The most common threat to the species population is the loss and degradation of habitats. And other threats include species overexploitation, pollution, invasive species and disease, and climate change driven by how humanity produces food. According to the United Nations Environment Programme, the world spends about $1 million per minute on agricultural subsidies that are often driving biodiversity loss and climate change. The report highlights that COVID-19 is a clear manifestation of the broken relationship with nature. It has highlighted the deep interconnection between nature, human health, and well-being, and how unprecedented biodiversity loss threatens the health of both people and the planet. The report shows that there is an opportunity to heal the relationship with nature and mitigate risks of future pandemics. Ambitious actions to achieve more sustainable food systems are now needed to prevent future biodiversity loss and to promote its recovery. There is a possibility to choose the path ahead and improve the health of wildlife and people. Sunampem for BBS News.
Breaking barriers and taking opportunities to the next level. For the first time, a Bhutanese coach is managing a football club of India's one of the top domestic leagues, I-League. The man Senju Dorji was announced as the new head coach of Sudeva FC. I-League, formerly known as National Football League, is the joint premier football league in India along with Indian Super League.
Senju Dorji will now lead Sudeva FC, the debutant team in I-League this year. The All India Football Federation recently handed a spot in the league to the club based in the Indian capital of New Delhi. The 38-year-old joined Sudeva Residential Football Academy in New Delhi in November last year. Prior to the current appointment, he was the youth coach for Manipur-based football club FC Imphal City. He is also the first Bhutanese coach an international football academy hired. While in Bhutan, Senju served as a national coach for 12 years with Bhutan Football Federation.
First of all, it's a great honor to be a part of I-League. I really thank our President Mr. Anuj Gupta and Vice President Mr. Vijay Hakari for believing on me and decided to give me this huge responsibility.
Like any other coaches, Senju looks forward to winning every game for Sudeva FC and finish the club's first season of the competition with an impressive result.
My first priority as a head coach is to win all the matches. But to be more practical, to be more precise, that does not work in football. But sometimes we even lose after playing a good game. And this is a charm of this beautiful game. This is our first season. We are all optimistic and we are so excited. Everybody is ready. I will be very happy if my team stands in a good position in the table by the end of this season.
The I-League 2020 to 2021 is the 14th edition with 11 professional football clubs across India taking part. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, all the matches will be played in Kolkata from November onwards. This is Pasang Doji for BBS News.
Well, that's all we have for this week. Thank you for joining us. Have a good weekend.